For as long as I can remember, looking out of windows at night terrifies me. It's so bad, I would almost consider it a phobia. Sure, television most likely has a part in this, but I also have a rather intense imagination. I can't say why looking out of darkened windows scares me so bad. I guess I'm afraid of what I may see. Something moving in the darkness, perhaps? Or, worse yet, something pressed up against the window. As a result of this phobia, I have developed certain rituals when darkness falls. Curtains over my large living room windows are pulled shut before it's completely dark, and if I happen to sit in the chair in front of these windows, I will not ever look towards them. When I get water from the kitchen, I focus solely on the running water and avoid looking at the glass above the sink. The same thing happens when I feel the urge of nature in the middle of the night. The window in our bathroom is small and sits on the wall to the left of the toilet. It's up rather high. The only way you can see out of it is when you're standing up to walk in or getting off of the toilet. We're currently in the process of doing some renovations of our tiny bathroom. Painting, putting up new molding, stuff like that. As a result, I've had to remove the small curtains from the window, so my ritual has currently been changed. When I have to pee in the middle of the night, I grab my flashlight. It is much less offensive to my eyes than clicking on the overhead lights, and head in. While I'm sitting and doing my thing, I actually angle myself away from the window. The fear is just that strong. Anyway, the other night, my irrational fear became entirely rational. I woke up in the night with a full and screaming bladder. As always, I told myself that I could wait a while longer, but after a few minutes, my bladder threatened to explode. I groaned and pulled myself from the toasty confines of my bed, grabbed my flashlight, and shuffled across the hall. I kept my eyes down to avoid even risking a glance to the window, placed the flashlight on the counter beside me, and slid my panties down. I sat on the toilet, angling away from the window, and jolted a bit from the coldness of the seat. Once I was done and had wiped, I got up and turned to flush. As I did, my eyes betrayed my ritual and flicked towards the small window. What I saw just about made me scream. A face! I snatched the light from the counter and looked again before I could stop myself. Jesus! I yelped and started to laugh. Had I really just been scared by my own reflection? God, you idiot! I scoffed to myself as I turned to leave. As I turned, I noticed something odd. There were still eyes looking at me. Not my eyes. I straightened up and stared at the window. It had to be a trick of the light, right? That and my sleep-addled brain, right? I turned the light toward the glass and let out a small scream. It was a face, all right, and not my damn face. All I could see were the eyes and the bridge of a nose, but it was a face in my window. The eyes were wide and owl-like and colorless, and what little I could see of the skin was a wintry gray. What? I started. At the sound of my voice, the face came to life. It tilted to one side like a confused bird, then the other. The huge eyes blinking curiously as it moved closer. More of the face became clear. Thin, colorless lips appeared, a bony jut of a nose, and just the faint outline of hair. I couldn't determine the sex of the person that the face belonged to, nor did I care to. All I knew was that there should not be a face up that high. Even if the person was standing on the snowdrifts outside, They'd likely sink before their head would reach the window. I took a step away and could almost see the face start to panic. The head cocked faster one way and then the other, and it was blinking furiously. I told myself that I was dreaming and turned, running from my bathroom. I made it to my room, slammed the door, flicked the lock on the handle, and clicked on the lights before leaping into my twin-size bed. As an adult, I knew that hiding under my blankets wouldn't protect me, but that's what I did anyway. I'm being so stupid, I scolded myself. I was just about to pull the blankets from my head when I heard a noise. It was familiar, a door, more specifically, my locked bedroom door, creaking open. I froze and held my breath. There were no footsteps, no breathing, nothing. Yet I could sense another being in the room. You know how you get that feeling when someone walks into a room with you? I could just feel something in there with me. The idea was just starting to form to grab my phone off of my headboard and call the police when I felt weight on either side of my legs. Every hair on my body stood on end, and I felt a deep chill race through me. I jumped as the weight shifted and started moving up my body. I could feel 2 sets of feet near my knees, and what could be hands on either side of my stomach. In my head, all I could visualize was something crawling up my body. Human? Otherwise? I didn't know. I just knew the only thing separating me from whatever the hell was on me was a comforter. I had no protection. Ideas formed in my head, how to escape or attack so I could get to the phone in the kitchen. After what felt like an eternity, but was mere seconds, I had made my choice. I sprang up from the bed, trying to throw my comforter over the face and head of whoever was in my room. As I scrambled to the door, I chanced to glance back and saw nothing. There was nothing on my bed except the now rumpled comforter. Thinking maybe the intruder was still in the room, I ran full tilt for the home phone in the kitchen. When I called the police, they told me to get to a safe place and to stay on the phone. The police just left my home. They checked the house from top to bottom and found nothing. There was no evidence of a break-in, not even footprints in the snow around the house. Nothing. The officers offered to drive by the house during the night, but I told them that it wasn't necessary. I live in the middle of nowhere, and they could probably be of better use somewhere else. I tried to blow the whole thing off as an overactive imagination. Maybe it had just been the blankets settling, and my already freaked out mind blew it out of proportion. The locked door opening could be explained away too. In my rush, I may not have shut it all the way, and it just creaked open. I thanked the officers for their time and patience, and locked the front door after they left. I headed back towards my bedroom, telling myself that I would just leave all the lights on, and paused. I had to pee again. This time, I flicked on the overhead light and made damn sure to avoid the window at all costs. As I went to flush, my eyes once again betrayed me and looked up to the window. The face was there once more. I felt my heart stop as I stared at the thing. Wide, owl-like eyes stared at me from behind the glass. A slow, face-splitting smile formed on the thin lips, and an equally thin hand appeared. The long, narrow fingers waggled at me playfully, like a baby does when they're waving. One large eye dropped into a quick wink, and I screamed. I glanced behind me, making sure it wasn't a reflection of someone in the room with me, and when I looked back, it was gone. Needless to say, I didn't go back to sleep last night. As soon as the sun came up, I put my old curtains back up in the bathroom. I don't know if they will help, but hey, if I don't see it, it's not there, right?